All right, just a few more breaths in your child's pose, getting ready, smiling a little bit, feeling really safe in this child's pose. And then when you're ready, draw yourself forward, bring yourself back to hands and knees. And again, let's just start to move the spine. Inhale, lengthen, look up, release the belly towards the ground, and then exhale, push away from your mat, hollow through your belly, arch the spine, and let's just move forward and back a few times in cat-cow. And then draw yourself back to neutral tabletop. Let's tuck the toes under. Again, push away from the ground with your arms. Make sure that they're really strong and you're really pushing down through your fingertips. Your fingerprints are pushing into the ground, imprinting them into your mat. And then when you're ready, lift your sits bones up towards the sky and come into your downward facing dog. All right, so I'm working with a mic here, so I apologize for the visual with that cord, but hopefully you can hear me a little bit better as well. Take a few more breaths in down dog, and then when you're ready, let's look forward to your hands, rise to your toes, and then I want you to really slow, heel toe, feet up towards the hands, nice and slow. Nice and slow. Ball of the foot, heel of the foot, ball of the foot, heel of the foot. Had it a little backwards there. Feet are gonna be hip width distance apart when I arrive, and I'm in a nice relaxed forward fold. Now, if I'm like really having a hard time here, the best thing to do is to bend into my knees, and I'm gonna bring my belly towards my thighs. And then I can just start to roll more of my weight into my toes and start to lift from my sits bones up, up, up towards the sky, right? And then I can let my head dangle, maybe shake it out, yes, nod it, no. And if I want to grab onto opposite elbows, that's always a great option as well. Just taking a few breaths, feeling the hamstrings starting to lengthen a little bit here as you're in your fold. Travel back down to the earth, slide them onto the fronts of your shins, extend your spine nice and long, a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, and then exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Push through your feet, reach all the way above, Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, hands coming in towards heart center, Samastitihi. We're gonna inhale, reach arms right up above, exhale, flow it back down to the ground and release. Inhale to draw up halfway, exhale to fold. Plant your palms, step back to plank pose. Let's hang out here for about 5 breaths. So I want you to firm up your legs, firm up your glutes, push away from your mat with your arms. Gaze just kind of to the top edge of your mat, keeping everything nice and strong, moving the breath. And then we'll send our hips up and back, downward facing dog. If you bring your toes towards the back of your mat to touch, and then send your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, curl your knee in towards your nose, squeeze tight. Inhale, send your leg back up to the sky. Exhale, curl in, squeeze tight. One more time, send your leg up to the sky, curl it in, squeeze tight, and then can you just place your foot through nice and gently, and then maybe extend your left leg a little further back behind you. And let's keep our hands down on the ground. Now, I did go ahead and grab some blocks for myself, so I really want to focus on extending my spine, feeling really, really strong here. So I'm pushing through my palms into the blocks just to lift myself up a little bit, and just kind of melting forward a little more into the front of my left hip flexor, psoas. I'm going to take a few breaths here. And then on your next exhale, release your knee down to the ground and untuck your toes. And then let's again sink forward a little bit more, and I might have a little room to move my right foot forward a little more. And then maybe I might start to explore bringing my hands up towards the top of my thigh. And then if I can just kind of roll my right hip back a little bit as I let my left hip come a little more forward. I might even bring my hands towards my hips for this and feel that kind of drawing up a little bit, lengthening my tailbone straight down. And then if there's space available, I might take arms up above into a prayer position, Anjali Mudra. Take a couple more breaths. And then as you exhale, start to bring the hands down towards the ground, hands to your blocks, and let's extend back half splits. So I might start to move that right leg a little further forward in front of me. And again, lengthen the spine. Try not to round, really extend yourself here. And if it means you need to move your blocks up a little higher, that is perfect. Really just focus on how everything feels. Can you feel energy moving freely? Is it getting stuck anywhere? When we're hunched over, our energy gets stuck. So let's extend the spine. Take a few more breaths. And then nice and slow, if you move that right foot forward, I'm just gonna move mine back a little bit, and then I'm gonna bend back into my knee, coming into my low lunge. So I don't need my blocks right now. I'm gonna move them out of the way. I'm gonna bring my hands to the ground, tuck your left toes under, and extend your legs straight back. Now move your right hand to the inside of your right leg and heel toe your right foot out a little bit. And again, let's stay nice and firm with the arms, so you're pushing away from the ground, but I want you to hug your right hip in. So this hip is hugging in, it's not coming out. I wanna squeeze it in towards myself. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And just gaze towards top edge of my mat. Now I'm going to slowly release my left knee down to the ground. I'm going to untuck my toes. And once again, I might go ahead and grab my blocks. I'm going to get a little bit closer to the ground now, but still want to think of that extension in my spine. And I'm going to let my knee drop open. So roll to the outer edge of your right foot. And again, just keep the gaze fixed a little forward. Don't drop your chin. Keep the spine extending. Now forward into the front of your left hip and let the right hip open. Nice full breath. You can stay exactly where you are, or if you want to take one more option, and you might need your strap for this if you feel like your arms aren't quite long enough. I have my left hand on a block, left shoulder is right over top of my left wrist. I'm going to start to turn my chest, open myself over my right side, and then if I look back and I bend into my left foot, I might be able to reach back and find the outside edge of that foot. Now, if I needed my strap, you can take your strap. You can loop it around the front. You can hold onto the strap just like you can with your hand. So both are really easy, depending on you. Get a few more breaths here. I'm going to really slowly release that bind. I'm going to reach my right arm forward and start to move my hips back. Now my right leg's out at an angle, and I'm going to take myself to square my chest over that leg, and I might actually take it out even a little wider if there's room, and extend over my right leg in a wide angle half splits. Last couple of breaths. I'm going to slowly draw back into bending my right knee. And I'm going to heel toe my right foot. so that it comes to the center of my mat, hands planting towards the ground. Tuck your left toes under if they're not already, and extend the leg back. Extend your right leg back and come into plank pose. So from here, totally optional. If you want to just head back to downward facing dog, we can meet there. Otherwise, if you'd like to take a flow, let's come onto the tips of the toes, keep the collarbones wide, lower through chaturanga, come into up dog or cobra, and then all the way back to downward facing dog. Strap out of the way, don't need that right now. Taking a few breaths.